ladies, never a dull moment. Oh my gosh. Woo!
Couldn't find a broom, ladies, so, but I got my mop. Whew. Okay. How is everyone? Happy Monday.
And we got to 100 real quick. Everybody needed to see that.
Well, keeping things energized at the Littleton store today. Getting in that workout. So, how is everyone? I hope everyone's having a lovely day. Oh, out of all days, I forgot my water. Everyone's going to know that water is my thing since last week I made a big deal about it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, forgive me, I'm very out of shape. Okay, so announcements. And again, we will touch over the announcements per the norm. So we did post something to our Facebook, I believe it was yesterday, in regards to the next mystery that you guys are going to be doing with Miss Kate. It's going to take a while.
You can have a sip of my water if you need to.
So there were instructions that you guys were given, and apparently there was a little bit of an error in those directions. In the directions, it said that you needed 8 2 7/8 squares and cut on the diagonal to give you 16 triangles. What it should have read is that you needed 4 cut on the diagonal, still 2 7/8, giving you 8 triangles. If you ladies or gents have already cut, that's perfectly fine. You're just going to have more than what you need. No worries. Better to have too much than not enough.
Absolutely.
So, no worries.
There was something in there about binding, though, and that if you do your binding or your 2.5-inch strips for your binding, you will barely have enough, and you have to be extra careful so that it might be easier for you guys just to do it at 2 1/4 instead.
All right. So I do want to mention that the tea party is going to be this weekend for the Kimberbell event on Friday and Saturday this week. So we do have some room available in that. With us making sure that you guys get the kits, I just wanted to encourage any people who have been considering and teetering on signing up for that event or not. If you guys are wanting to, I would get signed up as soon as possible. We have a few left to offer. That way we just have the ability to make sure that if you're not at the Thornton store where the kits currently are, then we can make sure to get those kits to the appropriate stores for those of you who are not signed up yet but would like to be.
Wanda, to be honest, I don't know what the beige fabric is for in the kit. I have not taken it apart myself. If it's for the squares to be cut at 2 7/8, you will have plenty. If it's for the binding, then I would suggest that you cut it at 2 1/4 instead of 2 1/2, just to be on the safe side.
Yeah. We have a winner from last Friday's video, and that is going to be Annette Anthony. You won a little design package from Floriani, so awesome stuff. We'll get that sent up to the Thornton store for you.
Yay, Annette!
So for today, we have a little bit of exciting stuff to show you. Cindy's going to back up so she can show you our beautiful panel. Isn't
Oh my
it cute?
gosh, I like the birdhouses at the bottom.
So the little handsome fella. I guess it could be a girl too, but the top hat makes me think of boys.
Yeah, I would say he's a boy.
So what we've done is we've created a 3-yard little bundle for you here for the panel. Have some nice, zoom in on that sucker. It's a wood washed type fabric to go along with the wood wash that you see in the kit, and some red to match his little scarf. So this is going to be somewhere around $29, $27,
$97.
yeah, $97. That may be just a slightly different given the tax being a little bit different at each location. But Totes adorbs.
Absolutely.
Totes adorbs. Okay, so excuse me if I'm going to be fixing my shirt a lot today, ladies.
Yeah, she's rocking the 80s poofy sleeves.
Okay, so today's project, what we're going to be doing is machine by number. It's fun. It's a lot of flipping and folding. This is just an example. This is not today's...
I don't know where to stand. The stupid cord's in the way.
Sorry. This is a design that we did for Kimberbell Corner last fall, but it's just to show you that we have some dealer exclusives in this option as well, but a fall leaf, and then we also have hangers. So the hangers, this hanger is going to be a little bit smaller than what you would need for today's project. This is $21.99. I'd have to get you a price on the 8x8 scallop hanger. Cheryl, do you mind checking into that for me?
Just to pop in here really quick, those of you that are wanting the wood grain fabric, in cutting these bundles, we are out, but they have been reordered. So if you want to go ahead and write in your requests on here, and then we will give you a call once those are in.
So again, this is a 6x6 hanger, but these display them real nicely. But this is going to be too small for today's project. Cheryl's looking in on the price on the 8x8, and I think it should just come up if you type in 8x8 or scallop.
8x8, not 6x6. Okay.
Yeah. And then the design pack that we're using today, it is not something that's terribly new from Kimberbell. It is an older one. This is the Kimberbell Machine Embroider by Number, and this is the Autumn Collection, and it is $39.95. And there's a school bus. This to me makes it look like a pear. And then we have a turkey, a pumpkin, and an apple, and a witch hat. That's also on this collection here. Other designs that are similar to this is the Summertime Collection. There's a camper, there's a ice cream cone, flip it over, a sailboat, American flag, a little piece of watermelon, my favorite. And then there's also a winter collection, and the Christmas tree, a little snowman, hearts, cute, and a little mug, candy cane. There must be one that I'm missing. Nope. So all of these are $39.95, but these are the type of project that we're doing, just in different seasonal options there. We do have kits available, but what I'm going to show you first is I'm going to show you two different ways of doing things. So like you see here, it's a hanger. I like the hangers, but I also like table runners. So what I've done is I've taken 3 different designs from this collection and I've stitched them together to make a table runner. So today's video, we're going to do the witch to show you how it's traditionally done, and then I'm going to show you how I've accomplished this so far. So we'll go over that when the time comes. We do have kits available for all 3 of those options: the pumpkin, the school bus, and the witch hat. They are $6.99. They come with the batting, all the fabric that you would need, and the ribbon. So again, we only have actually 3 kits left of the school bus. They've been a little hot. And we're kind of running short on the fabrics for them, so we only have 3 of the school buses left, but we have plenty of the witch hat and the pumpkin kits left. Some of the product that we're going to be using in order to complete the project is the fabric folding pen. I was going to say roll and press. This is $16.95. If anybody wants me to go over that, any new viewers, we can definitely go over that. And the roll and press, which is $15.99. Again, any newbies to our site that are watching, or our page, let me know if you want me to go over those items for you.
Okay, Jerry, she was using the leaf one as an example. We did not make kits for that one.
Correct. It's just to show, pretty much to show you the hanger is really why I brought it over here. It's not something, this was a dealer exclusive. This was the design that I did last year for Kimberbell Corner for the month of November. But coincidentally, I used the same fabrics, and I just now noticed that.
You just now noticed that?
Okay, so the other item that I am going to be using in the table runner portion of the video is the Quilter Select Free Fuse Powder. This is my favorite because I am not too crazy about the spray adhesives. I really like this. It is like a little salt shaker. It comes in a little pouch, and you just cut that open, pour this in here, and then you put this back on. I don't know if I can get it out. And then you can just use it like a salt shaker. This is $19.99, and there are just refill options as well. So if you have the container and you run out, you don't need to buy another container. And I believe the difference in price for the pouch rather than this is, I think it's $15.99.
I was thinking $14.99, so somewhere around $15-ish.
So we're going to be using that. I'm going to be using the handy dandy glue gun.
Hey, hey.
I'm also going to be using, or as an option, what you can use if you're doing the table runner is
Around $10.
what?
$10. Around $10.
For what?
The 8x8 hanger.
The 6x6 is $21.99. We'll let you ladies know. So this is the Stitch in the Ditch foot. And if you were wanting to do the table runner to attach your pieces and give it a quilting look on the back side as well, then you can use your Stitch in the Ditch foot to make that possible. And we'll get started. Any questions so far? Anybody want me to do my witch performance again?
Oh my god, that was awesome.
We need to get you a chair too. No questions?
I'm kind of going back to look. So the design that we're using today is the autumn collection for the embroider by number. Turkey, we're guessing that that's supposed to be a pair. We're not really sure. The school bus, the witch's hat, and an pumpkin and an apple. I guess it could be a golden apple. I don't know.
It could be.
The winter collection here has the Christmas tree, candy cane, snowman, hot cup of Joe, but I guess it should probably be hot chocolate, and the heart for Valentine's Day. And then we also have the summertime collection, which has the camper, the ice cream cone, the American flag, a sailboat, and watermelon. So those are the options for those.
All right. I got you a chair.
Thank you.
All right. So with the machine by number, there are a lot of pieces. So what I've done is I've labeled everything, and I have my hat pieces 1, 4, and 7, 3 and 8, and so on and so forth. So I have everything labeled. Some of you people will be lucky enough to get kits where I wrote them for you on those pieces as well, because as Cindy says it, I'm an overachiever. Okay, so what I've done so far is right now what I'm using, let me back it on it. Your kits are going to be cut to the extra large size, so therefore you have an option of which size you'd like to accomplish. The extra large is going to give you a finished project that's going to be 8 3/4 by 8 3/4. So it's quite large, and you can tell by looking at the table runner how big they actually are. So what I have done is I am using a 9.5 by 9.5 hoop, and the paper tells you that you need to be using a cutaway stabilizer. If you're wanting to do a table runner, I would actually recommend using a firm tearaway so you can tear it away at the end. And I would not recommend using your batting right now because it's something that you would use later on for it. So I am going to do the traditional project today, so I have the cutaway stabilizer in my hoop, and I've actually gone the extra step of just getting to this point so that we can move kind of along and show you what we got. So the very first step is it's going to stitch a batting placement line directly on top of your stabilizer. The next step is to cover that box with the batting, and then the next step is going to be machine step 2, and it's going to stitch the template so you know what you're working with as you're going along. So now we're working with piece number 1, and it's machine step 3, and we're going to place our piece 1 right side up. This is going to be the only fabric that you place right side up. So I'm going to look on my little labels here, and I'm going to look for piece number 1. I just take from the back so I can keep my labels going. And looking at our template, which is nice in the directions, each point is going to give you a highlighted portion of where you're at. So piece number 1 is just above the brim here, and it's the grayed out area, and I'm going to place my fabric right side up, completely covering that area. And I did stitch my template out in black thread so that I could see my template. But I'm going to put something lighter in there right now so that you can't really see anything. And you shouldn't really see anything anyways, given the fact that everything's going to be hidden in a seam. But because we are working with some of the lighter fabrics, with the background fabrics, I'm going to go ahead and just use a lighter one as well.
All right, well, that stitches out. The design number for the summertime collection is KD556 for those that want to go back and double check that you don't already have it. And they are $39.95.
And we also have the ability, ladies, if you've purchased something at our stores, we have the ability to, within the last couple of years, that is, look at your transaction history and tell you if you have. Okay, so now we've stitched down that first piece. And now we're going to trim away the excess, cutting close to that stitch line. And then we're going to look at our directions, and it's going to tell us piece number 2 is the next one that we need. So I'm going to go over here to my handy dandy little area, and I'm going to grab my fabric, and I'm going to place it right side down, right along that line. And it's going to stitch, giving me a 1/4 inch seam. And then I'm going to get my fabric folding pen ready. And I'm just going to run it along the stitches. And then I'm going to get my roll and press. And press that. And then we're going to do our next trim and placement line. So we're going to stitch that, get our skizzers ready. I should probably make it easier on myself. Again, we're trimming close to the line there. We're working with piece number 3. Don't make me to show it every time like I was wanting to. Again, we're going to place right sides down, completely covering that stitch. We're going to get the fabric folding pen ready.
Yeah, Katie, let me hop onto the other side of the table here. We have so this here is what she is making right now. We're doing the witch's hat. But also from this CD is going to be the school bus. and the pumpkin. And each 3 of these we do have kits for. The school bus is limited as some of them have already been snatched up. Yes, Sandra, we can go over the fabric folding pen with you. Absolutely. But yes, so there is a kit for each, the pumpkin, the school bus, and the witch's hat for today. And they are $6.99 each. So next time you use your pen, you want to go over it?
Yep, right now. So the fabric folding pen comes with a solution that's equivalent to a fabric softener. And you put about 3 drops into the pen and fill the rest with water. And then you use it like so with it. Just stitch that fabric down, and I'm just running it along the stitches. And then we're going to press that over and take our roll and press and just give it a nice roll along that seam there to get a nice flat seam. So that takes away from you having to constantly go from your project to the ironing board to get a nice even press. And also a lot of people have asked, why do we want to use a fabric folding pen over a using the finger press, you know, with your fingernail? So I don't know how many of you ladies have experience with this, but for me personally, what I've run into is whenever I've tried to press, I've actually had a fingernail polish equivalent to this color here using like a cream fabric, and I went to press it and that fingernail polish actually went onto the fabric. And I have talked about that in a class before and have had some ladies tell me that it's happened to them as well.
Oopsie daisies.
Also, the liquid that's in the pen is something that is clear. So if you were to use something that you have at home, sometimes it's not always clear, and you wouldn't want to put something that's not clear on your fabric. So right now we are on step 10. So if you're getting lost, then what you can do is we've stitched and we've trimmed, and now we're going to take our piece number 5 and we're going to place that. So it's our last piece of this fabric here. I want it this way. And then when you get the fabric folding pen, if you run out of that liquid, and it should last you a while, if you run out, we do sell the refills. And this is something that I use in a lot more projects than just the Kimberbell projects. The Quilt As You Go by June Taylor designs, those are actually in the instructions. It tells you to not do any type of ironing with the piecing because it distorts your batting, and then you're not going to get a finished project that looks nice and clean. Alright, so again, in doing this, you might want to start from left to right. And with this part, the next piece that we're going to be using is the light background color. And you want to try and get as much of this dark color out of here so it doesn't shine through. But you want to make sure you do so without cutting your batting. You don't want those little guys on there either. Okay, so our next piece is going to be piece number 6. I'm going to take from my big background pieces. Again, I'm placing my fabrics right on that line. If you have some of that darker color kind of popping up at those little points there, you can extend it just a little bit, because we all know that Kimberbell is infamous for giving you a little bit more than what you need, with reason.
Would this be, if it is too much, could you use like color keep? Or is it just, would that be overkill?
Yeah. I say once I share that secret with you. Trimming is pretty much where you got to be careful. You could use it if you wanted to, but not really necessary. Okay, and we're locked down. Wrong button.
Charlotte says beautiful sewing machine.
Very beautiful. All right, so now
Yes, Bridget, this is a Kimberbell design.
for piece number 7, it's our last piece of our mulberry. That's what I like to call it. Mulberry grunge. Right side down.
Was there a spring for these CDs?
No.
No, so yes, there are just 3 CDs, Karen. Evie, she is using our oh-so-favorite QS Wave scissors. They are awesome because not only do they have the duckbill, but they also have a point to get into those crazy small situations. And the CDs are $39.95. And the CD, yes, will be 20% off.
All right, and we're going to grab our last piece of our hat fabric. We forgot joke.
We did forget a joke. I mean, we have a joke. We just forgot to tell it.
We'll tell it. All right, we're going to tack that down.
Yes, Julie, I will put your name on some of those. And Evie, if I think we're still referring to the scissors you had asked about again, if you want to, you can just comment here on the video, and also give us an indicator as to which store you would like to pick them up at, or if we need to mail them, then you can, you know, refer to that as well. But if you are a brand new customer, then I would encourage you to call a store so that we can get your information, like your address and such, so that we can mail them to you. The lighter marble fabric.
This one?
Yeah, I'm thinking we'll take a field trip while she's trimming. I don't remember what it's called. Marbles wine. Don't pay attention to the moda part. I think it's fitting. Oh, well, welcome, Evie. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. We love new customers.
We do.
So another background piece.
Another background piece. So, and here's the little points where when we were doing our piecing before on the other parts of the witch hat that you can kind of see, but those are stitched down. So what I'm actually doing is placing this, there's our stitch line, and you can see that those little points here are kind of hanging out. Just override that a little bit. Stitch that bad boy down.
Kelly, you know what? Amanda and I were literally just talking about this like 30 minutes before the video. We were kind of surprised as to the fact that we still don't have them. And unfortunately, I do not have an ETA for you as to when those upgrades will be here. But I am sure that as soon as we get them in, we'll let you know.
All right.
Yep, I can definitely show the CDs again. And I know somebody asked about the snowman panel. I will show that again as well. Just bear with me. As we did take down our little display here. So we have the summertime collection. I'm really sorry about that glare. Summertime collection. You can get 5 different designs on this one. The autumn collection, which is what we are sewing from today. So a turkey, a school bus, pumpkin, apple, and a hat. And then the winter. Actually, all of them are right here on the front. And then the one that we were doing today from the autumn collection is the witch's hat. Where did you put the panel? Over there. Okay, we're going to roll over to the panel over here while she's still putting on some of those pieces. Yep. Alright, so here's the snowman. Just so stinking cute. And we kind of took from the border out here with all of this wood grain. And we actually had fabrics in the store that have that. So we have a wood grain here. And a red to complement along with your panel. All of this together is 3 yards. And the bundle comes out to about $29.99. Just about. It's actually 3 pennies less, 2 pennies less than that.
Other wood fabrics.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Right over
So.
this way, ladies and gentlemen. Voila.
So, there are actually a bunch of different wood grain colors that we have here. Going from like a grayish green into a pretty cool teal. It's actually called Lagoon. Couple of reds, yellows, or tans, some greens. I think these are awesome. And there's actually also like a really, really dark one. We didn't use that one, did we? Oh, we did? Okay, never mind. So the other option that we did have, did we order that one too? No?
It was unavailable.
Okay. So I will tell you guys, the fabric I'm about to show you is not available, but some of the kits may have it in there because we did run out of the light gray wood grain. Some of the kits do have a almost like a charcoal wood grain in there. And unfortunately, I don't have any of either of those two in stock left. But the lighter gray one we did actually just reorder, so that we will get some more of that one in.
All right. Come a long way since you guys left me.
We went on a field trip.
All right. So we have our brim for our witchy woman hat.
Peggy, we are, I will be honest with you, we are limited on the amount of panels just due to the fact that we only get so many panels on a bolt. So I will tell you, I cannot promise you 3, but I will see what I can do once we kind of have everybody sharing the love.
All right, so now we're going to start working with our border pieces. And believe it or not, we're almost done.
Ramona, no, for some reason they did not come out with a spring collection. And the winter one
could be kind of used as...
Yeah, that is definitely true. I would say that the winter one kind of ends at Valentine's Day, and the summer one,
they kind of join forces.
Yeah, I would say the only holiday that's probably not represented is St. Patrick's Day. And the snowman bundles are roughly $29.99. It's actually like $29.97 for the 3 yards. So. Oh, and Easter. You would be correct. No, there is no Easter as well.
Good eye.
But it does have a flag that you could use for Memorial Day. So I guess that would be the first summer holiday. The pen she used is called the Fabric Folding Pen. It's our lovely little ironing cheat. So the pen here, it has this this solution here, which is kind of like a fabric softener or a starch kind of solution, which you would put 3 drops into the container here at the bottom of the pen, and then fill up the rest of it with water. And if you go ahead and you apply it to your stitches before you flip it, then you can then flip and use the roller to give it a really nice and clean press, instead of having to get up and iron and get up and iron, since you have so many piecings. Karen, you crack me up. She's like, okay, I can't stand it. They're so cute. I'll take one of these CDs.
I think they're fun.
Yeah. And the fact that it's embroidery too,
yeah.
You know, so.
I mean, I think a lot of people think that with a embroidery machine, you're only doing embroidery. But
absolutely.
There is quilting in the hoop that you can do.
She is a pro with the pen. The finished size of these blocks were about 8 3/4.
Right.
The roller is $15.99 and the folding pen is $16.95.
we have many people interested in seeing how to make it into a table runner anymore?
I would actually have to say that a lot of people were not on at the very beginning, so I don't know if they know that that's an option.
So, ladies, I'm always looking for ways to try and change stuff up. So this is supposed to be a standalone design, little hanging. I've taken 3 of them and have making it.
Woo-hoo.
I have made it into a table runner.
Yes, please. Evie, the scissors are the QS Wave Applique scissors, and they come in a right-handed option and a left-handed option. There was one other question I wanted to... The name of our, the brand of our sewing machines are going to be Baby Lock. That is what we sell here in the store. Yes to table runner. Yes, table runner. So I would say that's a yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Might go a little over, but that's okay. Now you should be trimming, but for time's sake, since we're going to be doing a table runner, we're just going to keep moving along. It's not going to hurt to have a little bit of a bulk in that area.
Julie says that the scissors are worth their weight in gold.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I love them.
This machine's largest hoop is going to be a 10 5/8 by 16.
That's my own.
It's a biggin.
That's a little bit more than I'd like to be there, so I will trim that one.
Jan says that there is a spring collection for embroidery by numbers. Well, that would be amazing.
You're hired.
Yeah. The scissors are going to be $31.99. 31? 32?
31.
31, yeah. $31.99. And the pen and roller are both by Clover. So you have the Clover fabric folding pen and the Clover roll and press.
So this stitches down your borders like any traditional project you're going to have with borders, meaning you're going to start with either your left and right or top and bottom, and it's going to do the opposite. So we did the bottom, now we're doing the top, and then we're going to do both sides. And that is how they did their inner borders as well to match. And Cindy, do you want to show them on here? The middle one is quilted as an option, because that's going to be our next step, and I'm going to bypass it. But you can show them on the two sides that they're not, to show the difference.
Okay, so here she's saying that in this one, let me see if I can get it at an angle so y'all can see. We have it quilted. And then these here are not. Lisa, the pen is by Clover, and it is called the Fabric Folding Pen. And I agree, Marquita, these are my favorite scissors, so I would assume, well, I guess I can't really assume, you know, but I have yet to meet a person who does not fall in love with these scissors. Jen, I will definitely check that out. She gave us the link for the spring collection.
Thank you. Dankeschön.
Oh man, you guys don't even know it. Don't even know.
I'm a poet and I didn't even know it.
That right there.
Okay, so with this being, I don't want to say directional because it's not, but you can line up your lines appropriately in order for them to match. And then we're almost done.
I like how you just like chase your needle.
Chase that needle. Okay, so our next step is going to tack all of our pieces together.
Great question, Annette. Hoop sizes. It goes from a 4x4 to a 9x9 for this autumn one. I'm gonna guess that the rest of them are the same, but I shall double check.
So that's we have
4
the
by
extra
4.
large in the kits,
Yeah, so the
and we have a 9.5 by 9.5.
Yep.
And if you're using the 4x4, then you can kind of change it up too, to where it's not a wall hanging, but you can fill it with some stuffing and have it be like a pin cushion.
Or a mug rug.
Exactly.
Or coaster, I guess.
All right, so now we're gonna get spooky with it. No. And we're going to put our black thread in the machine. And we're going to stitch our Spider-Man.
Spider-Man?
Spider-Man. Sorry. There's a cute little boy in here earlier today, and he was telling us that he's going to be Spider-Man for Halloween, and now it's stuck in my head. Easy peasy little spider. So the step that comes after the spider is to do the quilting, and to be completely honest with you, I'm not really hip into the quilting. If I were to do it, I would find a thread that blends well with the background fabric, so a nice like soft cream color, and that is the kind of color I used on the school bus option. I just wasn't really that into the quilting. So you have that option. If you don't like it, then you don't need to use it. It's not attaching your backing fabric to anything, so it is not needed. Some steps are needed, where this step, if it's something that you're not interested in, then you can go ahead and skip on past that. So the next step is, it is going to give you a placement lines for your ribbon. And your ribbon is a really good color. Really pretty, and I just love
Party.
pretty. Oh! And we're going to take our ribbon, and again, if you're using a directional or a printed ribbon, then you want to make sure that you are folding your wrong sides together. And you're going to fold your ribbon in half and place over about 1/4 inch. What?
We had a typo in one of the comments, and somebody said that our scissors are on sale for $425.59.
Goodness.
Yes, Evie. So actually, the way that it works for our lives is as you are watching, and for the week after, any type of like Notion product or designs or anything that we show in the video is going to be 20% off. That doesn't exclude fabric and fabric kits due to the fact that they are already discounted. But yeah, so that would then make your scissors $25.59. Ramona, the CDs are called Machine Embroidery by Number, and then you would have to like look up or specify the different collections. So there's a winter collection, summertime collection, autumn collection, and we just found out that there is a spring collection. We don't know everything.
All right, so now we can remove our tape. And when you're doing the ribbon, you want to make sure that the raw edges of your ribbon are up top and the folded edge is going to be inward towards your design. Ask me how I know that, ladies.
We all find that out
the
wrong way.
Okay, so now we're going to take our two back pieces and I press them together. Our folded edge is going to be going towards the center of our design. Same with the other one.
And absolutely, yes, we can mail you some scissors. Rose, I bet you that would be really cute. She says Miko should be a bat, and she'll come in later and show us the picture.
Aww. He's gonna be something else. Oh, an 8x8 scallop stand. Cheryl, let you tell them.
$23.99.
Woohoo! All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so not all of you are Baby Lock owners, and I'm aware of that, but I wanted to show you a little step here. So the Baby Lock has a feature on the machine where you can press your start button and hold your start button and it will go slow. So now I've just gone over our folded edge here and it eliminates, if you've run out of any type of tape at home that you use, then you can still complete your project. And it's going to go around a second time, so I can show you guys that feature again. However, I have been known to repeat this step just to make sure that my stitching is locked in and loaded. It's not going anywhere in case I do happen to snip my threads when I am trimming my fabric on the corners. But today I think we're okay. So here's that feature again. I'm going to stop the machine because we're getting close to that area, and I'm going to press and hold, and it makes the machine go at a slower pace just until I get over that folded edge, and I can let go of that button and it picks up at that fast speed again.
Do you know if the Luminaire does it?
I do not know if the Illuminaire does that. The Illuminaire, it should.
I would want to say yes, but don't quote us on that. And the hoop that we're using is a 9.5 square.
Yes, it is. So now we're done, and I'm going to put this somewhere where it's not in the way.
And Evie, we are at the Littleton location today.
Ooh. And then we're just going to trim. Will you hand me the scissors, Cindy? We're going to trim at 1/4 of an inch of our stitched line.
Thank you, Julie. The Dream Machine and Luminaire do the slow stitch.
Yeah.
So actually, Evie, the machine that we are sewing on is the Solaris. The Solaris 2, actually.
trash cans on the other side.
At least you aren't throwing it on the floor. The CDs are $39.95.
All right, and then I'm going to snip my corners to reduce the bulk. Oh, well, look at that. I forgot a complete set here.
Whoops.
I don't know how I did that. Well, that's not even at a quarter.
Maybe
I
that's
have
why.
Someone yelling at me. So you can use your scissors, you can use your rotary cutter in order to trim your corners, whatever tickles your fancy. Like Sid and Nancy. Is that come a lady, come a lady?
I think so.
And then you're just going to take this and a turning tool would be useful.
Or a pencil.
Whatever's clever. Poke out the corners.
Yep, Patty, that is a great example as when to, oh, I'm sorry, not Patty, Julie. Sorry, another comment popped up. Julie, that is a great example as to when to use that feature. Patty, the ruler size she's using is a 12.5-inch square.
All right.
Ooh. Oh, sorry.
And then you'll just give your project.
Yeah, and actually this would be a perfect size to probably put one of those 8-inch square pillow forms in there.
Yeah.
No, we did not wash away the stabilizer. What kind of stabilizer did you use?
It was a cutaway.
Yeah, we just used a cutaway.
So now we have our finished project. We have our ribbon in here. That's where those stands come into play. I mean, look at that. That's monstrous compared to that little guy.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Okay, so now table runner. So this is where I'm going to talk a little bit about the difference between these stabilizer options. Something to keep in mind when you're doing your backing fabric. When you're using the free fuse powder, if I were to place this fabric right side down to the pressing station and then put my batting on top and try to press this, it's not going to be as successful as taking your batting and your backing and figuring out your placement. Then I'll go over that in a minute, but you're going to place the batting down and then you're going to fold back and sprinkle the free fuse powder onto the back. You don't need a little bit, as my grandpa used to say, a little bit goes a long way with makeup, you know. Don't go overboard. And then you're just going to fold that over and you're going to press it and it's going to make it stick beautifully. So what I did is I measured let me back it on up a little bit. So on the project, with the difference in stabilizer, one of the things that if this is an option that you're wanting to do, then I would recommend doing a tearaway stabilizer, where when you're done with the embroidery, then you can tear away any of the excess stabilizer. The reason is this side, you can do the same thing, where you can lift this up and press the top side onto your batting as well. And I just need a little bit more pressing over here. So for that being said, if you're going to do this project alone, I would recommend doing what Kimberbell's instructions are as far as using a cutaway stabilizer. But if you're wanting to adhere using the free fuse powder, it's not going to, the Free Fuse isn't going to adhere to stabilizer like it is the fibers of fabric. So therefore you can use your tearaway stabilizer done with your embroidery, then you can tear away that excess stabilizer from the back of the project, and you can actually adhere the top portion to the batting as well. So what I did is I took the process of binding completely away from the project, and I'm going to use my backing fabric as my binding. So in order to put these three together, one of the last few steps I've just completely bypassed. On here we have the quilting done. On the pumpkin and on the witch hat I did not do, just to show you the difference. And when we did that step of after we placed all four of our border fabrics, our outer border, and it tacked everything together with that stitch here, you can use those as lines in order to stick these together, and you're going to just line your J-foot up with those stitched lines and stitch out a 1/4 inch seam to attach these three pieces together. And I've fused the backing to the batting, and I've fused my top side to my batting as well to make sure that it's not going to go anywhere. So just to sum that up and go over it really quick, if you're wanting to use the Free Fuse powder, it's going to fuse nicely to your fabric. So you want to have your iron to your fabric and not to your batting. You'll have better results. So let's get...
No, she did not have a button fall off. She has yet to put on her buttons.
Buttons, guys.
Buttons. Yes, that's what it's called.
No one's screaming out there. All right, and I'm just going to put on a thread here that's hopefully not going to... Hello? Hello? Okay, so now is where you can do some of your quilting.
Deanna, the Free Fuse states that it is semi-permanent.
And I'm going to take off the embroidery foot. And I'm going to put on my sewing ankle with my stitch in the ditch foot. The stitch in the ditch foot has a guide on there where you can line your seam up. So with the Free Fuse powder, it's kind of nice because you don't have to worry about there being any type of issue with...
Never mind.
What?
I was going to zoom in on your lining up, but...
I just remembered something, guys. For doing quilting, we kind of want the thread on the bottom to match, to blend in well, so it's not just white. So our fabric is brown. Whoa, look at that tree over there.
I hope that's a
Is that a
kid.
kid?
I don't know if y'all can see our crazy tree across the way.
It has to be because the trees over there aren't doing it. I was like, oh my gosh, thank goodness we're inside. There's a tornado out there.
Poor tree.
It just works perfectly with Dorothy, the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to take out that bobbin. I've gotten a brown bobbin now that's going to blend well with my backing fabric. And
Okay.
traditionally you're going to want to fan out, work from the center and work your way out, taking turns going from left to the right side. With the Free Fuse powder, because it's kind of locked in, you don't really have to worry so much. If it was a larger project, you know, that might be a different case.
Okay.
So our seam is right here, and we're just going to go in, and that guide's going to line up with the seam.
Sorry. I just wanted to put it down so that you could.
And we can go over to our next guy. And if you wanted to, then you could do the 4 sides here. The pivot feature, gotta love it.
Julie, no, unfortunately there isn't. After these kits. Not to say that we won't ever get it back in, though.
What?
This brown check.
Okay, so you could do that on all 3 options. And then we're going to get rid of our stitch in the ditch foot and get our binding for this guy. You're going to take what we have here is 1 inch all the way around. If you are wanting to do this option, we'd be happy in all 3 stores to find a fabric that would be a nice backing and then binding fabric for you, since this fabric is all gone. So you're going to fold over once. You're going to fold inwards towards the project, and then you're going to fold over again. I should have gotten the clips, huh? Would have been smart.
That would be smart.
The one of their clips. All right, so fold in once towards the project and then fold on top of the project. Fumble fingers, can't get it to open.
Me too, Val. I definitely prefer this this type of binding.
Okay, so when it comes to your corners, something that I use, and this is personal preference, but you actually want to take this out and not do a double fold. poking myself. Glad you think that's funny.
Charlene, I do want to say that they did correct the directions for Mystery 9 online already.
My fingers have to do it sometimes. Okay, so then that side is in. And you just hold that. And you're going to double. How do I normally do this, Cindy?
I don't know. I have to do it in order to be able to
I know.
tell you.
Okay, so you're going to fold this one over, and then you're going to fold this one to the project. Fold that. I've done this like 1,000 times.
Uh-huh. Have you ever tried using glue to hold it instead of like a stiletto?
I have not.
Like putting a dot of glue in there?
Alright. It's where pressing is probably. And you want to take that corner and kind of fold it in at an angle so it doesn't pop out. And have that come over. And then hold that. Do the double fold. Oh my god. I almost died. Just kidding. Okay, so I think I have it. Fold that side down, the opposite side than what you're working on. That down. There we go.
Voila. I hope you all saw that.
Okay, so you're going to fold this in. Hold that down. Fold that corner inwards. And then fold that up. Boom!
Woot woot.
Oh, if only I had 8 arms.
Then you'd be an octopus.
And do that. And then what I would do, which what I normally do because of Elaine, is you can do a blanket stitch and stitch all the way around. But I think because we're already at 323, unless somebody wants me to go over that again, of course you guys can go back and rewatch that part on how to do that, the
Absolutely.
corners for the binding. Any questions? Should I go over the announcements again one more time before I go?
Maybe really quick.
Okay, so the next mystery that you're going to be doing with Kate, I know we've touched on this a couple of times. In the original instructions, it told you that you needed a total, excuse me, 2 7/8 squares that you cut on the diagonal. That gives you 16 triangles. What it should have read is that you need 4 2 7/8 squares cut on the diagonal to give you 8 squares.
8 triangles.
Yes, 8 triangles. I'm so sorry. So for those of you who have already cut, it's not a problem. It's just going to make that you have more than what you need. The bundles, Cindy's gone over. The tea party is going to be on the 16th and 17th, and we do have some room in that event remaining, just because it is kind of approaching sooner than later, and it's sneaking up on us. If you guys do want to attend the event, the kits are right now at the Thornton location. So if you are a customer that picks up at the Littleton or the Centennial location, we would like you to be able to sign up sooner than later so that we can make sure that we get your kits sent to the appropriate stores for you. So after you do your quilting, I do want to just show you one other thing. These are not going to be in your kits, but you can either sew on or hot glue.
The wheels on the bus
go round and round, round and round, round and round.
Sure, I like that one.
All right. So once you are able to do the double fold and get your corners on, I mean, it's a nice little table runner or even a little wall hanging. Hey.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, it's hot. Glue is hot, guys. It comes from a gun. It is hot. Do not touch. Oh, all right. Well, thank you so much, everyone, and we'll see you next Monday.
All right. Thanks, guys.